She had circled February 14th on the break room calendar with a thick red marker and then, just as decisively, crossed it out. Maya didn't believe in tempting fate. Valentine's Day had a habit of finding her whether she acknowledged it or not, and this year she wanted nothing to do with it. No expectations. No disappointment. Just another double shift at Bellamy's diner, where the coffee was strong, the booths were cracked vinyl, and love mostly showed up in the form of extra fries on a shared plate. By 4 in the afternoon, the place was already dressed for the occasion. Pink paper hearts dangled from the ceiling vents. Someone had taped Cupid cutouts to the pie case. Maya tied her apron tighter and rolled her eyes, then pasted on the polite, professional smile she'd perfected over the years. She told herself she was fine. She had work. She had rent paid on time. She had a life that made sense. The lie was thin, but it got her through the dinner rush. At 6:30, the couples poured in. Hands entwined, nervous laughter, men pretending they hadn't Googled romantic but casual Valentine's outfit. Maya moved between tables with practiced ease, refilling water glasses, dodging rose bouquets, accepting pitying smiles from regulars who remembered her last boyfriend. He promised a weekend getaway once. Instead, he'd left a toothbrush in her sink and a note on the counter that said he wasn't ready. She wasn't ready either, not for another round of pretending. That was when she noticed the man in the corner booth. He stood out because he wasn't part of the Valentine's parade. No date, no flowers, just him and a little girl with dark curls and sneakers that lit up when she kicked her heels against the seat. The man had one arm draped casually along the back of the booth, angled protectively toward her, and he listened with the kind of focus that made Maya slow her steps. She approached with menus. "Hi there, welcome in." The girl beamed. "Do you have pancakes?" "It's dinner," the man said gently, smiling down at her. "I don't care." Maya laughed before she could stop herself. "We absolutely have pancakes." "Then I want the happy face one." Coming right up, Maya looked at the man. "And for you." He glanced around, taking in the hearts and balloons with a bemused expression. Whatever pairs well with surviving Valentine's Day alone. She met his eyes then. They were kind, tired but kind. "Coffee helps with that." "Then coffee it is." As she walked away, she felt something loosen in her chest. It annoyed her. She didn't want to notice strangers. She didn't want to feel seen by a man who probably had a whole complicated life she knew nothing about. She wanted to get through the night and go home. But she kept glancing at the corner booth. The little girl Lily, she learned, chattered nonstop. About school, about her best friend, about how pancakes for dinner were the best idea anyone ever had. The man, Evan, listened and responded with quiet humor, nodding along like there was nowhere else he'd rather be. When Maya brought the food, Lily declared her the best waitress in the world. "You're just saying that because of the whipped cream," Maya teased. "And because you didn't tell me no." Evan chuckled. "That's how she gets you." Maya lingered a second longer than necessary. Enjoy. She told herself it was just curiosity, but when Evan caught her eye later and smiled, really smiled, something shifted. Not fireworks, just warmth, steady and unexpected. At the end of her shift, she dropped the check. Evan paid without fuss and left a generous tip. On the receipt, beneath a neat signature, he'd written, "Thank you for making tonight easy." Easy? The word stayed with her as she locked up her station. Valentine's Day hadn't been easy in years. Outside, the cold bit at her cheeks as she stepped into the night. Couples passed by, hands linked, faces flushed. Maya hugged her coat tighter and headed toward the bus stop, already replaying the day in her head and telling herself it meant nothing. "Hey," Maya writes. She turned. Evan stood a few feet away, Lily bundled up beside him, her light-up sneakers blinking against the pavement. "I hope this isn't weird," he said quickly. "I just wanted to say you seem like someone who deserved flowers tonight." Maya blinked. "Oh." Lily tugged on his hand. "Dad got me ice cream." "She did," Evan said. "I thought we'd share." He held out a small paper bag. Inside was a single cupcake, pink frosting smudged against the lid. Maya laughed, surprised and a little undone. You didn't have to. I know, he hesitated, but I wanted to. She took the bag. Their fingers brushed. It was brief, electric in a way that made her breath hitch. Happy Valentine's Day, Lily said solemnly. Maya crouched to her level. Happy Valentine's Day, Lily. As they walked away, Maya stood there longer than necessary, cupcake in hand, heart thudding. She didn't know what this meant. She only knew that for the first time all day, she didn't feel like hiding. She told herself not to expect anything. One kind gesture didn't rewrite patterns. One smile didn't equal a story. And yet, over the next weeks, Evan and Lily kept showing up at Bellamy's, sometimes together, sometimes Evan alone during Lily's after-school program. They always sat in the corner booth. They talked about small things at first, about the weather and the diner's questionable music choices, about how Lily insisted on pancakes no matter the hour. Slowly, deeper things surfaced. Evan talked about becoming a dad at 26, about learning how to braid hair from YouTube videos, about the quiet loneliness that crept in after Lily fell asleep. Maya listened. She shared pieces of herself too, her mom gone too soon, her dad distant but trying, her habit of avoiding dates because it was easier than being disappointed. I get that, Evan said once, stirring his coffee. Avoiding things feels safer. Does it? Until it doesn't. One night after closing, they sat in the booth together while Lily colored nearby. The diner was quiet, lights dimmed, hearts finally taken down. Can I ask you something? Evan said. Maya nodded. Would you like to get dinner sometime? Somewhere without pancakes shaped like smiley faces. She smiled. I think I would. It wasn't dramatic, no grand declarations, just a yes that felt honest. They took it slow. Park walks with Lily, coffee dates during her school hours, movie nights where they fell asleep on opposite ends of the couch, Lily nestled between them. Maya learned the rhythm of their life, the early mornings, the forgotten permission slips, the way Evan softened when Lily laughed. And Evan learned Maya's too, her sarcasm that hid vulnerability, her habit of pulling away when things felt too good. He didn't push, he noticed. One evening, months later, Maya stood in her apartment doorway, keys in hand, heart racing. She spent the whole day convincing herself this was a mistake, that she was stepping into something fragile and complicated. Evan stood there, hands in his pockets. You okay? She exhaled. I'm scared. Me too. She searched his face. Why are you still here? He smiled, gentle and sure. Because noticing you changed things, and I don't want to unnotice. She laughed softly, tears pricking her eyes. You're really bad at avoiding stuff. Yeah, he said, I had a good teacher. They didn't rush, they didn't promise forever. They built something instead, piece by piece, trust, laughter, a kind of love that didn't shout but stayed. The next Valentine's Day, Maya worked a morning shift by choice. Evan and Lily came in with flowers and a handmade card covered in glitter. It read, "Thank you for staying." Maya smiled, knowing she finally had.